It was a Tuesday evening, the kind where the world outside felt quiet, but my living room was anything but. I was on the couch, still in my work clothes, going over a few emails when Emily walked in. She didn't sit. She didn't smile. She just stood there, holding a small suitcase like she'd been waiting for the courage to speak. Her eyes darted away from mine before she finally said it. "I'm leaving you." No preamble. No fight. Just 5 words that seemed to echo in my head like a church bell. I thought I'd feel panic, anger, desperation, but all I felt was an odd, settling calm, like my body had been preparing for this moment for months. She expected me to leap up, to ask why, to demand explanations. Instead, I leaned back, clasped my hands together, and looked at her like she had just announced she was switching laundry detergents. "All right," I said. Her brows knitted together in confusion. "All right? That's all you're going to say?" she asked. I could tell she had rehearsed a scene in her head. Tears, shouting, maybe me begging her to stay. But the truth was, I'd already known. The late nights at work, the sudden distance, the perfume that wasn't hers lingering on her jacket, it all painted a picture I couldn't unsee. I asked her where she was planning to go, and she hesitated before saying, "I'm staying with a friend." The word friend rolled off her tongue with the kind of carelessness that told me it wasn't a friend at all. I didn't press. If she wanted to dress up her betrayal with soft lies, I'd let her. She shifted uncomfortably, maybe wondering why I wasn't breaking down. She didn't realize I'd already done my grieving weeks ago, alone, silently, when I first noticed the change in her. I stood up and walked past her to the kitchen. She followed me, clearly unsettled. "Aren't you going to fight for this? For us?" she asked, almost desperate for me to give her the reaction she thought she deserved. I poured myself a glass of water and took a slow sip before answering. "Emily, you decided to end this a long time ago. You're just now telling me about it." Her lips parted, but no words came. That was when I realized she didn't want me. She wanted the ego boost of being chased. I walked to the hallway closet and pulled out her bigger suitcase. "If you're going, you should take everything you need," I said, placing it at her feet. She stared at it like it was a trap. "You're making this too easy," she finally said. I almost laughed. Easy. There was nothing easy about the months of lies, the quiet dinners, the way she'd smile at her phone but never at me. No, this wasn't easy. It was just necessary. As she packed, I sat in the living room, scrolling through my phone. It was the quietest packing I'd ever heard. No slamming drawers, no angry muttering. She was testing me, waiting for me to crack. But I didn't. In fact, I texted my friend Mark to confirm our fishing trip that weekend. When she finally emerged, suitcase in hand, she looked frustrated, almost insulted that I wasn't in shambles. "So that's it? You're just letting me walk away?" she asked. I stood, met her eyes and said, "Emily, you're not walking away. You left a long time ago. This is just you taking your things with you." That was the first time I saw her flinch. She wanted control over the story, wanted to be the one breaking free from a man who still wanted her. Instead, she was standing in front of someone who had already moved on emotionally. She muttered something under her breath about me not caring and walked toward the door. I followed her only far enough to open it for her. The cool night air drifted in, carrying the faint sound of traffic. She stood there for a second, as if expecting me to grab her hand, to say something that would pull her back. Instead, I simply said, "Goodbye, Emily. I hope you find what you're looking for." She stepped out without looking back, and I closed the door behind her. The silence that followed wasn't heavy. It was light. I felt an unexpected sense of relief, like I had been holding my breath for months and finally exhaled. I didn't need to know the details of where she was going or who she was with. All I knew was that I could finally start over without the weight of pretending. That night, I sat in the same spot on the couch where she had first told me she was leaving. The difference was, I wasn't dreading the future anymore. My phone buzzed with messages from friends, invitations I had been turning down for months. I accepted a few. Life was already moving forward, and so was I. Emily may have walked out expecting me to fall apart, but instead, she gave me the gift of freedom. And I didn't plan on wasting it.